Welcome to a Cuppa with Ben podcast for the fifth. Welcome to a Cuppa with Ben podcast for the 4th of February 2024. Today we're going to be talking about a few topics that I found kind of interesting. Also, tomorrow, the 5th of February, McDonald's is going to be bringing back the Shamrock Shake because of St. Patrick's Day. That's going to be next month in March. But coming back to today's topics, a middle school in Carolina is going to be getting rid of all meals out of every student use. So you go to the toilet at your middle school, you do your business, you come out, you go to wash your little hands, your big hands, whatever. You go to find out, oh, no meals. Why is this? It's because the school is going to try to stop students from doing TikToks in the loo. Or it, in my opinion, it's not gonna work. It doesn't matter if you put up a big sign saying no mobiles, no cameras, and no video recording in the loo, in the toilet. It's not gonna work. Because what's going to happen is they are still going to do it. They are still going to prop their mobile on the sink. Or they are going to go out in the hallway and prop their mobile phone on a table or on a window ledge. Have their mobile on the ledge, and they are still going to be doing those TikToks. Nothing is going to stop these students from skipping class, not going to class, not going to lunch to do their TikToks. Because they could even go in the locker rooms and do their TikToks in the locker rooms, even though there is a big sign that says no videotaping whatsoever or photography whatsoever in the locker rooms. It's not going to stop them. No, it's not. And this issue is not just in middle school, not just in intermediate schools, but it's also in secondary schools, in high schools, and it goes all the way down probably to primary schools, elementary schools. And I'm not saying that a lad in primary school had a TikTok. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that possibly a lad has a mobile phone and they are in elementary school, or that they are in primary school. Now, that is what I'm trying to say. Is no matter how old the kid is, they possibly do have some sort of a mobile phone. And do I think that the school is making the right choice by removing the mirrors out of the loo? Well, it gives one less thing for the caretakers to clean. It gives one less thing for the cleaners to clean when they need to clean the school. So thank you for making their job easier. But honestly, if you are going to remove something out of a loo, how about this? How about you remove the paper towel dispensers and put in hand dryers instead in every single loo? Because then, if you want to save the school's budget on paper towel, because the students would love to waste paper towel to wash their hands, even though they only need one or two or three pieces of paper towel for their hands. But no, they're just gonna keep on pulling the paper towel in until there's a big pile on the ground, and then they just throw it into the dustbin, right into the rubbish. So then the school had to order more, even though they just ordered some. Or the security, or the caretaker had to come in and put in a new room that he or she put in the night before. If How about you look at that? How about you look at your school's budget and look at what you could do without, or what you could do to make life easier. Because of toweling, you could just have air dryers, and the kids could just stand under there and dry their hands off the glass. Less mess, less fuss. How about we put TikTok aside, not worry about it, and worry about something that's useful? Worry about the paper towel in the schools. Because honestly, the most thing that goes quicker in schools are the paper towels. So how about these schools focus on how to make the school better, how to make the budget better, instead of worrying about their students doing TikToks. Or if you're so worried about students walking out or skipping class, just do a sweep of the hallway, a hallway sweep, where uh, where the head teacher or the thinnest students walk the halls right after the bell rings to make sure there are no kids hanging out in the hallways, no kids hanging out in the student lounge, no kids trying to get fizzy drinks out of the machine or crisps out of the machine so they can eat and drink in the classroom and probably make a bigger mess than that. So if you are going to try to cut back on students skip walking out or skipping class, you can't blame it all on TikToks. You can't, because there are other platforms that students can use to make videos, like YouTube, for example. Even though I do love YouTube myself, but still, because I have seen YouTube videos of people making YouTube videos inside of the loop, or they make little YouTube shorts. Um, it's inside the zoo. They try to do prank videos inside the zoo. So there are other ways to cause issue. If you want to attack one issue, maybe you just attack more. So I say that that middle school to just do whatever they think is best for them. I just don't get the idea of why it needs to be all over YouTube, all over Instagram. It's like there are other things they could be worried about. How about making classes more more educational? How about making classes more interactive to make students to want to be there, to want to be in the classroom? That's all I'm saying. And in other news, the Trap Report podcast is not only available on YouTube and on benchmedia.co.uk. It's also going to be available on Spotify, probably coming up next month in March. So you can get your traffic and public transit reports right there on the podcast. More places for you, more places to be more, sorry, more places for it to be available to you. And we will we will still cover the National Highway UK and also cover the Chicago Transit Authority's public transit updates, also the National Highway UK's updates, to keep you up to date when you are on the move. This is probably going to be a big move for the podcast because it won't just be on YouTube. It'll be more accessible. That's the word I was trying to say. More accessible for you because it'll probably be on more platforms. It'll probably be on, I don't know, maybe Google Podcasts or on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts, and it'll be right there. So you'll be up to date, know what the traffic going to be before you head out, or even after you head out. And I am really not that sure about if Cuppa with Ben is going to do the same. I'm not sure about that. For right now, I'm just thinking that Cuppa with Ben would just be on YouTube. For right now, it's just going to stay on YouTube. So thank you for listening to today's podcast of Cuppa with Ben. Hopefully you have a good week coming up. And are you going to watch the Super Bowl? I know I'm not. I'd rather watch the World Cup. Because I just think the World Cup would be more entertaining to watch than watching the Super Bowl. I'm not a big American football fan. I'm more of the real football. Like Manchester United, Manchester City, and Liverpool and all those. So thank you for listening to today's podcast. Have a lovely day. I'm sorry for the hiatus of the couple with Ben and also hiatus on the Trap Report podcast. The reason for the hiatus was we just had nothing to talk about for a couple of Ben. And what happened was we stopped receiving traffic reports from the National Highway. So what we had to do was we had to go back to our account. After we went back onto our account, we deleted our account. Then we made a new account and then changed our information. Because that was the only way we could change our information. If we deleted our account and made a new one. Because originally what happened was we hit traveler category, not media, like we should have. So what happened was we went back in there, we hit media category, we entered, we answered all the questions that they asked, and we basically told them that we were a truck reporter from Truck Report Podcast, and we wanted all the updates from the National Highway. Because months ago they gave us permission that we could only use their Truck Report information on Truck Report Podcast. So we're thinking, okay, that works for us, that works for me. I don't care if we can just name the show Traffic Report Podcast. Um, we, we could just do it like that. Just make it its own brand, make its own platform, give it its own life. So we made a brand new YouTube channel for Traffic Report Podcast, and we just yet to post on there. We did make a new opener for it. Before we were showing the motorway in the UK and a train pulling out of Chicago Union Station. But the thing was, we weren't talking about trains. We were talking about the Chicago Transit Authority. So what happened was we went back to Chicago and redid the shot. We filmed a Chicago ad and put that into the intro, and then the trap report starts. So thank you for listening to today's podcast.